I really think that everybody should learn how to make art at some point in their life. You see, I've been drawing since I was 6 years old, and I'm 24 years old now. So I think that's like almost 20 years, but whatever. And I didn't start learning how to do like art like professionally until I was around 20, maybe 21. And I really regret waiting so long to actually learn, but I don't think I don't think that's why you should learn art, right? I think art is a very intellectual process, and a lot of people don't have the pleasure to recognize just how intellectual it actually is. Learning the fundamentals of art have forced me to use math. I've learned a lot about the science of the human body and how color works on a scientific, biological level. And I'm just a beginner, but even in this little time, I've learned a lot. And one thing I've been able to learn is that anybody can do it. There are people who can look at an image for a few seconds and render it perfectly. There are some people who can listen to a beat one time and replicate it on any instrument. And I'm definitely not one of those people. I am kind of clumsy sometimes, right? But I do things that I like them. And I think that's fine that I'm not one of those people because most people aren't. And that leads people to use this phrase called you're talented, right? And everybody has talent in some area, and they probably don't even know it. But most people who pick up a hobby sound like ass, right? They're just terrible. And it would be very discouraging when you first start. When you see all those people who are like better than you, making better music than you, drawing better pictures than you, doing the things that you've always wanted to do, when you try to do the same thing, it's just like right, shitty booty water, right? And for me, that would lead me in this cycle of like picking things up and then stopping them for months, if not years at a time. But always coming and getting this itch, right? I just had to make something, do something, wash, rinse, repeat. And then day I decided I wanted to be a professional artist. So I practiced day in, day out, and months later, I was still pretty fucking shitty. Because all I was doing was like drawing a lot, but I had to do something I wasn't really good at, right? And I it's been plaguing me since basically the start of kindergarten, and that was studying. I had to study, and I used to, and a part of me on a small little level still kind of does hate studying because I like video games, right? And I'd rather go home and play video games and like hang out than like study math, which I'm not gonna blame you if you're doing that exact same thing because shit, I still do that to this day. But I like reading, but I'm only gonna read what I like, you know. And if you know this, like the prospect of going home and studying was daunting, but I wanted to get better, so I started studying. I've only recently gotten to the point where I got attacked by my glade. I've learned to appreciate the art I've created. Even the old stuff that doesn't look anywhere near as good as the stuff I can do now, because through studying art, I've learned that something, something I've needed to learn for years. I learned how to learn, right? Learning art along with a full-time job really gave me a lot of the tools I needed to go back to school after dropping out, which definitely plagued me. And I think to make a comparison, learning art is like good food, right? It's nutritious, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually, right? Besides all of the intellectual things, it's it's food for your soul, right? Even just having an artistic pursuit is like something that trains your soul to be able to connect with people, right? And I think out of that, like the most important thing that I've learned is an appreciation for the skills that other artists have, right? And it makes me really like enjoy watching people put their soul into the things that they like and seeing their process of doing it, right? It's like putting on a pair of glasses. You can see things that people are trying to create. You see the ideas that they're trying to make. You can see their process of doing things really for the first time instead of being discouraged. I'm being attacked by my alarm now. I don't know why you have chosen to attack me. I have taken good care of you. I have kept you in my pocket. I have kept you in my sound. But now you decide to, at 3:45, get on my shit while I'm recording, right? I have just dropped a saucy take. We're on take like 2 of 3. And you decide to pull up and beep, 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 beep. Don't get fucking quiet now, right? Don't get fucking quiet now. What the fuck was I even talking about? You fucking alarm clock. Whatever. I'm leaving this in here. You can see things that you haven't seen before, and you can be inspired by art instead of being discouraged by it. And I know I just went on a bit of a tangent because my fucking alarm clock, but there's definitely one thing I want to say before I go, right? Machine generated images are probably going to be a thing for a while, and it might get better, it might not get better, but no matter what happens with machine generated images, AI, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you still won't be able to draw, right? If AI shuts down, or if DeepSeek really pulls up like a real one, or the lights go out, or if you live in shitty bitch ass Florida, right, you get hit with a hurricane, you can't just whip out a pencil and get to the golden, right? You're gonna have to just sit there and be like, damn, I really wish I could draw. And you know what's crazy? You can draw. You just won't be good at it, right? The main issue is that a lot of people want to just be good, but they don't want to suck, right? And sucking for a period of time is really how you get good, right? Art is about two things: being patient and overcoming fear, right? You're battling with that page every single time you put a pencil or a paintbrush to it, right? A blank canvas is an artist's worst enemy. And 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 you're not gonna be able to actually go to war if you're just typing in some shit into ChatGPT, right? And making some nonsense, right? It takes time. And you have to suck for a period of time to get good. And sucking is scary, right? But like I said earlier, art is about overcoming fear. You have to do it. It's either that, or you don't draw, or you don't make music, or you don't paint, or you don't sculpt, or you don't cook. You're gonna have to make some shitty dishes at some period of time. Even after you get good, even after you start mastering your craft, you're gonna suck, right? It's not about being good. It's about having that itch and scratching it. It's like something is crawling in your skin, and unless you draw something on paper, you will never get it out, right? Scratch the fucking itch, and don't let a robot scratch your itch for you. Be a bad bitch today, 2025. Goodbye.